Hey guys, so today you and I are going to talk about annual reviews. So let's get into it. So the question in question was, Frederick, as a software engineer, how can you improve if your manager gives you rave reviews during their annual feedback with the rating of meets expectations, and all the engineer needs to do is to continue their good work to get a higher rating? I'm not sure if this is are you upset, or are you asking how can you improve? Are you trying to get tips for how to be better, or are you trying to figure out whether or not this makes sense to you? It seems that you want to get better at something, but then this is gonna, yeah, let's just dive into that then. So if your manager is just happy with everything you do, it's sort of like saying that, I don't know, maybe your significant other is happy with you having a mom bod or a dad bod, but that doesn't mean that you can't exercise to get an even better body if you wanted to. Same thing with, your teacher might have said that you're really, really smart for, passing an exam in, say, math, but that doesn't mean that you can't do better in, I don't know, literature or whatever courses you're taking. It's sort of the same deal here. If your manager says that they're happy and you should just continue as is, it's really down to, are you happy with just making your manager happy? Like, is their assessment of you the one that you're looking for? Because it comes down to what expectation are you setting on yourself. So when you are being told that you're doing a good job, that doesn't necessarily mean that very, very rarely means that you're perfect. I've never seen that happen. So if you want to continue improving, it comes down to figuring out, all right, what are the things that you think would help you take the next step in your career and become better at what you do? Because there are always weak points. I'll give you an example from my own life. So I've been doing my the software development thing for quite some time. I joined a company a while back that where I rose to, I started as a software developer, I became a team lead within a very short amount of time, and then not that long after they wanted to move me to an architect's level, etc., etc. So now I manage more than one team, and more coming, as I understand it. And so the thing that I spotted, because I have annual reviews like everybody else. And so my manager says that yes, meeting expectations would say that you exceed expectations, etc., etc., doing a good job, continue in that fashion, etc., etc. And so that basically puts me in a very similar sort of situation to what you're talking about here. So, quote unquote, I should just continue doing a good job, right? But the thing that I also identified was that my role as what I do is evolving, and there are, in my specific case, I'm dealing now with an increasingly difficult situation where more of my job comes down to not just knowing how to write software, not just to lead a team or manage a work process or set things like that up and coach developers and give technical expertise and of course domain knowledge and all that good stuff. Now we're getting into a sphere of where I have to make decisions on behalf, architectural decisions, and not just in conceptually, oh, you should build a system this way or that's the way. I am actually going to have to know concrete things about the infrastructure of the overall company, the infra of everything, basically DevOps. So what do? Well, I find this sort of stuff interesting, and luckily for me, the company in question offers education options. So I start taking courses and getting, I'm taking a course right now. Not because I feel like I'm not going to be able to solve this without the certification or something like that, but because in this case we're using Azure. I've been using GCP and Amazon, AVS and so forth, not like a full-fledged system solution architect or something, an ops person, anything like that. I've just been doing it because my roles as I've been working have required me to know some of the services that these platforms use. But Azure is new to me, so I go and learn it because I've realized that in order for me to get even higher, this is something that is going to benefit me. And the same thing can be true for you. So you have to sort of ask yourself, what is going to get you to the next step? Because was it Ford said that if you ask your customers what they want faster horses. They're not going to say that they want a car or something like that. And it's sort of the same deal for you. Your manager might be super happy that you're doing a good job, etc., etc., but your manager's perception of when you are doing a great job might be at one level, and you might be able to exceed those expectations. I don't think you should get into the game of trying to impress people, but I hope that you can get my thinking when your potential as a person shouldn't be capped at what your manager is happy with. It should be capped with what you are happy with. And that is very clearly, if you still want to improve, higher than the expectations that your manager has put on you. In other words, you want to do things for you and be better at things for you, not for your manager. And I think that is, I'm not going to get too preachy about it, but that is exactly the sort of life philosophy I can get behind, because I am a big believer in that the only pursuit that is truly worthy of a person is personal strength, and then when you achieve personal strength, you share that with other people, helping them get stronger in turn. Because the best, in my opinion at the very least, the best pursuit is personal strength, wisdom, all these sorts of things that benefit you and make you a stronger and more wise individual. And so that's why I tell you, I think that you should have a think about what would be the next thing for you that will make you into a better version of who you are, regardless of what your rating says in your company. Because ratings and likes and stuff like that is subjective. And in case you haven't noticed that, guys, getting likes from people who are stupid really only matters to other stupid people. But people who are smart and really want to do well usually care about getting likes from people who are smart, or who are like, it makes a bigger difference. If you get a pat on the shoulder from someone who's like, doesn't really know your work or something like that, that might feel good, but it's not going to feel as good as if you get a pat on the shoulder from someone you really truly respect and who really knows their stuff. And I'm not saying that your manager is stupid or saying anything like that. I'm saying that you are getting credited and you have done a good job, which is great, but you've clearly identified that you want more than just being good in your manager's eyes, which, as I said, I think that is a very good thing for you. You just have to figure out what would be the next step for you, so that you can get a pat on the shoulder from someone whose opinion should matter even more, and that is your own opinion. So what I want you to take away from this is that if you want to improve, even though you're doing a good job and you're meeting expectations, it's very simple: exceed expectations. Because, as I said, it's very, getting praise, guys, it's very easy to get praise. If you want to be the smartest person in the world, have children for a little. For a little while, at the very least, they might think that you are the smartest person in the world. It's not going to last forever, as I've heard. It didn't for my parents, at the very least. But the whole, improving, guys, it's not limited to someone saying to you that you're doing a good enough job. If you've already met the top of the bar in the perception of one person, then, and you still want to continue, just continue. As I said, just ask yourself, what would be next for you? It might be that you want to go and learn a new skill. Maybe you want to try something different. Maybe you want to change your role a little bit. There are tons and tons and tons of things that you could be improving in. And if the person that you're talking to, in this case your manager, is just giving you positive feedback and you're just doing a great job, then go and talk to someone who is not so friendly. See if you can get an honest answer from one of your coworkers. Do a 360 if that's what you're looking for. Ideally, before you go and outsource all the opinions about you as a person, you should look inwards and sort of look at what do you want to take as the next natural step. And as with my little story, it can be as easy as that you are identifying not something you're doing at this exact second, but you're seeing that more and more of what you're touching within the organization that you work for is relevant to this sort of area. So you go a little bit ahead of the curve and you start learning that stuff so that you are ready when it starts happening. And you can do the same thing. It's just that I can't tell you what that's going to be because I don't know you well enough to be able to comment on what you could do as a next step. So you have to take some time and think about it. Have a great day.